Love my Wednesday chats with the co-host of Good Morning Football. His 10 Questions with Kyle Brandt podcast drops on the Ringer and Spotify every Wednesday. Today's episode is with Matthew McConaughey, our buddy Kyle Brandt back here on his Wednesday spot. How are you, sir?
Well, Rich, I'm full. Brockman and Del Tufo overnighted me some Chicago-style pizzas yesterday.
You are welcome, Kyle.
You're welcome,
It was
bud.
so generous of them. They said in appreciation of all the work that I've put in this fall, they wanted me to make sure I was well-fed. And thank you, guys. Thank you.
You got it. You're part of the team, Kyle. You know what I mean?
Did you give some to Kay and everybody else?
Yeah, absolutely. I sent them to Schrager will have 5 or 6, and Nate will come
Peter,
and
too.
vegan
And
and
Nate.
eat half of a pizza, and then Kay's all into it. She's from Chicago. So it's nice that the guys that you appreciate you send the pizzas to. I could not thank you enough. It was an early holiday present.
Sure.
You're welcome.
You know what, Kyle? I appreciate that. Like, let's just say if Michael Davies was around your set every day. Let's just say that, okay?
Sure.
One of the top-notch producers in the entire business. Also the man who put you all together for Good Morning Football. What if you all got together and decided to get some pizza and didn't include him? Would you do something like that when you knew that he loved pizza? Would you do that, Kyle?
It's just so inconceivable, Rich, that you appreciate the people who put you in those positions. Not only would there be pizza, I think we would have the garlic knots, maybe some wings, pitchers of beer, and then if it was Michael Davies, we'd go out and we'd all play tennis and work on our one-handed backhand, which is a master. So it would be a great experience as workers and as the Godfather that put us together. Absolutely.
That's all I'm saying. And then once you did in fact give that maybe after forgetting, it doesn't wash it all away, Kyle. Right?
Yeah, and in retrospect, Rich, maybe I have the facts wrong. It was only 1 or 2 pizzas, right, that you missed out on?
No, 12.
No.
Oh, 12. A whole dozen pizza.
Yeah.
That's a lot of food.
Yeah. That's a lot of food.
It reminds me, Rich, I don't know about you, but occasionally I'll make the terrible faux pas as a husband. I actually made it just an hour ago, where I'll come home from errands or work or whatever, and I'll walk in the house and I'll have a sandwich under my arm or a salad or something.
Yes.
And my wife will say,
"What's up?
Where's mine?"
Right.
And I just freeze, a deer in headlights, because I didn't think for 1 second to get her one. And it's because I'm an inconsiderate jerk sometimes. But I would certainly never do it with 12 whole pizzas for someone that helps, put a roof over my head.
Well, I do have here a man in T.J. Jefferson who lives by himself, a man in Mike Del Tufo who is divorced and had an Emmy thrown at him and broken in many pieces by his ex-wife.
True.
And I have a man in Chris Brockman who's just beginning to become a grown man with a baby and somebody. You've been living with Sarah now 2 years, right? Like
2+.
There you go. So, I mean, he's coming around. He's coming around.
They're not even like the dregs pizza, meaning like, they send you 12 and 2 of them are the veggie that no one wants. You guys couldn't have even given that. The pepperoni and sausage, I get it. But it's like the crappiest donuts in the box that no one eats. There must have been some of that left over for Rich.
But we chose our pizzas, though, Kyle.
You never thought, though. It's just it never dawned on them. It never dawned on them.
I won't say it never dawned on us.
Okay, it just, I've got something planned for after your segment, Kyle. So I'm looking literally the next 34 minutes of this show are going to be great because our conversations are always fun. And then the finish, they have no idea what's coming their way. None at all.
Good. It's so relatable, Rich. I mean that. I mean, you could ask, you could ask Darius Miles about the Pizzagate, and he'll have takes.
Darius Miles and Quentin Richardson would definitely get pizzas for each other. They go back to their AAU days. That's what happens. I've known Brockman for Del Tufo longer than Brockman. Even.
I mean, a long time, Rich.
I know.
So they're more at fault than me because
no.
Okay.
It's you know what? Again, let's put a pin in this because we're going to hit this hard, as they say in the television business, towards the end of this hour. All right, Kyle. The story of the NFL entering Week 11 is what? I'll give you the full scope.
I'm really excited for Chiefs-Raiders, Rich.
Me too.
And I don't think I've said that, since I was in college. I'm really excited. I think this is the biggest Raiders game in about 3 or 4 years. I really do. Back that 2016, they had a great season, and Carr was good, and they had a Thursday nighter at the end of the year. I think it might have been Week 14, and they played the Chiefs, and they just got crushed. And it was Alex Smith and Spencer Ware, and I feel like have not been heard from since. This is a big deal. If they sweep Mahomes, you go 2 for 2. It validates Gruden. It validates Mayock. It validates Carr. It is not an Oakland Raiders moment. it's a Las Vegas Raiders moment, and it would be complete shock and awe. I don't even care if they go to the wild card and lose the Raiders. 2020 was the year they swept Mahomes and make him bleed twice. And Rich, we got Busgate from Victory Lap Gate after the game. I'm way into that. I like that. Even Andy Reid was a little chippy about the Raiders taking a victory lap around Arrowhead Stadium, and Gruden was next questioning people. I mean, this is really, really good stuff. And I have a prediction, not a game prediction, but I have a feeling that when and if Tyreek Hill scores a touchdown in Las Vegas this weekend, I think he and his fellow wide receivers are going to do a team bus celebration in which they do laps around the end zone. There's heat on this game, and it's so fun to talk about.
I agree with you, man. I agree with you, and I've already called my shot, barring any COVID or injury-related issues between now and then. I'm called my shot and say the Raiders are going to take it. And
I love it.
I did. I called my shot, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I still think the Chiefs are the best team in the AFC right now. But you do throw records out. These are the games in which Amari Cooper catches 200 yards, even though he doesn't catch any yards against anybody else, which is what was happening before he became a Dallas Cowboy. I mean, I've seen them in person. I've seen games where the Raiders did, in fact, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, they did win a Thursday night football game when they were winless against the Kansas City Chiefs, who came in. I've seen these things in person. So I know you can throw records out, but to me, Sunday night has the possibility of a crowning, in a way, of the running back in this league who nobody really talks about, and it's Josh Jacobs. I think Jacobs arrives with intent. I think when I first saw him start running, and I gingerly mentioned this to Mayock because whenever I evaluate and do comps, Mike always gives me that evil eye because that's not my lane. But to me, he looks like Zeke. He's got Zeke ability. He's big. He's strong. He gets stronger in the fourth quarter. He wants it in the fourth quarter. And he's also the way that Carr doesn't wing it around 40 times. I'm looking to see him on Sunday night. That's what I'm looking to see.
I am too. It's the running back position is my favorite one, and Josh Jacobs is fantastic. If anybody wants to look at him and want to see what he's all about and pull up the tape, it's a couple weeks ago, and it's Raiders-Browns. It's at Cleveland. It's a 1 o'clock kickoff. It's totally off the radar. No one watched this game because it was really low scoring, 16-6. The Raiders win. Josh Jacobs was over 30 carries, which is something of an anachronism. You don't see that anymore. And they just decided it's windy as hell. We're not going to throw it. And I don't think they can stop Jacobs. And to your point, it's everything that you want from the combine, from the game tape. It's the shoulder is lowered. It's finishing runs. He doesn't run out of bounds. He's mean. He's good. And when we start saying, well, let's look at the top running backs in the league. Kamara's amazing. Derrick Henry's amazing. Christian McCaffrey's kind of hurt. Like, Josh Jacobs is nowhere in that conversation. If they beat the Chiefs with the Chiefs coming off a bye, Josh Jacobs is a superstar, and I feel like John Gruden is the face of this year. I'm so excited for it.
Kyle Brandt here on the Rich Eisen Show. Drew Brees is going to be out for, look, I know we're hearing 2-3 weeks. He's a 41-year-old man with a partially punctured lung and bruised ribs. It's Jameis's time here. I know Taysom Hill, there could be some run for him here. How do you think this affects the NFC moving forward?
Well, first I'll relate to Drew. Drew Brees and I are the exact same age, almost to the day. I think he's like 6 days older than me.
Okay.
2 years ago, Rich, I was skiing. I was clumsy. I took a really bad wipeout, and I cracked 2 ribs. I had to be the guy who was, I skied down on one ski. It was a mess. I cracked 2 ribs. And if anybody listening has never broken ribs or had never had any kind of issue, you think, it's ribs. You got 24 of them. What's the big deal? Unbelievably paralyzing to the point that when you have cracked ribs, if you sneeze, that is a real problem because you can exacerbate the injury. You can be in crazy pain. The doctors give you a kind of like a routine to go through if you're going to sneeze, where you have to get down, hug your ribs, and hold your breath. And that's just sneezing. I'm not talking about getting hit or throwing touchdowns. So I sympathize completely for Drew Brees, and I think it is going to be a while, considering he also has the punctured lung and everything. So I don't think he's going to be back soon, in my opinion. Now we get to ride on the Jameis Express, and I got to tell you, I am so excited. Rich, I know you were there calling that game, the Bucs Texans last year in Tampa, And it was all this talk about, I don't know, can Jameis figure it out? We never know what we're going to get. First play, you remember what happened? Pick 6, Jameis Winston.
That got called back due to a penalty.
I think the danger here is that I've seen a lot of comparisons to Teddy Bridgewater going undefeated last year and coming in relief duty. Teddy Bridgewater is nothing like Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston is a chucker. He is dollar store Brett Favre, be damned. He's going to throw it and throw it and throw it, and I don't buy any storyline that says, well, he's calmed down and he's changed his stripes now. He's with Drew Brees. He's a chucker. And I think this is going to be fantastic theater over the next month.
Well, I mean, here's the theater, Kyle. I already said, because I like, the NFL's a narrative-generating machine. I've seen tons of narratives, and I can see them coming from a mile away. I can already see a successful Jameis Winston calling into question Drew Brees' arm strength again. This is what it looks like when you can throw it 50, 60 yards downfield. Like that is coming. That is coming.
Monday morning.
I don't know about Monday morning, but I don't know, but I'm seeing it coming, and then because Teddy Bridgewater last year, it was definitely not a question of, okay, it's Drew's team, right? Sure. This time around, now it's 41 years old, and we did have 4 weeks of wondering whether he had the arm strength or not, and he came on our show a couple of weeks, last week, actually 1 week ago yesterday, and bristled like people who say that, don't know the defenses are in front of me, and he's right when he says that. I'm not saying that this is a correct narrative that's coming down the pike, but we could make bets on which show and which broadcaster will be the first in on this. If there's a place in the town where you think Sunday Night Football will be lit, that there is a place to place a bet on it. I would venture to say who would be the favorite in the top 2 right now.
Yeah,
for this.
That should be the draft about who in the media. Who's your first-round pick who's going to say, hey, look out, Drew Brees, maybe you should stay on that sideline? Because I got to be honest, Rich, the game hasn't even happened yet. I heard something this morning that was to the effect of, now Sean Payton will be unshackled. Now Sean Payton can really coach the offense he wants. He can do Taysom. He can do Jameis.
That's the precursor.
Sean Payton has been weighted down. I've heard it already.
That's the precursor. Yes, those are markers.
It's the precursor.
This is amazing.
It's a precursor. It's coming. Oh, my gosh.
Play. It's exotic as hell. It's already going to happen. And listen, Jameis and Taysom could be pretty cool. I just don't think everybody's saying that Jameis is going to change. I can't get over it. The only change, and I know this sounds like a smoky take, but I fully believe in it. We have seen for years, going back to Tallahassee, the memes and the jokes about Jameis and the squinting and the vision and the limited vision. This gentleman in the offseason had LASIK surgery and came out saying, I can see license plates now. I can read street signs. I've never done that before. That's a pretty big deal for a quarterback.
Yes, I know.
If anybody out there listening has LASIK, it's a game changer. And if that really helps him see better, maybe we do see a new one. I believe in the power of LASIK. I think for the Saints to have a Super Bowl in 2020, that may also need to be Jameis's vision.
I see live people. That's what he's basically saying.
Haley Joel Winston, yes.
Haley Joel Winston. Use that on Good Morning Football. Go for it. Before I let you go, McConaughey for this week. Dynamite, right? Dynamite. How to be great. You and him.
He shows up exactly like you want. He's got literally has a glass of wild turkey. He's leaned back. He's got long hair, and he plays the hits. He's going to talk all about how he got the role in The Time to Kill, how he got Dazed and Confused. He has a passionate take that he refuses to wear deodorant, and he will make you believe it is the right move to do. Unbelievable takes on the reconnaissance and how we went from rom-coms to True Detective and Dallas Buyers Club. Just awesome. We played bongos. We literally played bongos and drank whiskey. It was the most fun I've ever had in my life.
So that's dropping today on Ringer and Spotify every single Wednesday. By the way, I was just going back in my brain just to bring this full circle. It was an 0-10 Raiders team that beat a 7-3 Chiefs team in 2014. That was the birth of Latavius Murray for the Raiders.
Now with New Orleans,
he ran for damn near 200 yards against him when he was on the Raiders. It happens. The Raiders and Chiefs, crazy things happen for the Raiders and Chiefs.
This is a great one, Rich.
I'm with you too. Thanks for the call, Kyle?
Get some pizza, please. For God's sake.
I got it today, and they think that it would stop the train that's about to come, but it's not.
No, that train's taking off. Okay. I know you have a special guest coming up. I cannot wait. I'll be listening.
Thanks, Kyle. Appreciate it. That's Kyle Brandt. Good Morning Football every single day at 7 Eastern Time. He had Blake Shelton on yesterday. Blake's a diehard Cardinals fan, and he loves Good Morning Football. It's great. It's just great to see a tentpole show on NFL Network every single day, every single morning.